Reading this morning from Canto 1, Chapter 14, text number 10. Yes? Just now coming. Okay. Pashyot patanarava vyagra Divyan Bauman Sadaihikan Darunan Samsato Durad Bhayam no Buddhi Mohanam Pashyot Patanaravyagра Divyan Bhauman Sadaihikan Darunan Sankshito Durad Bhayam no Buddhi Mohanam Pashyot Patanaravyagra Divyan Bhauman Sadaihikan Darunan Sankshito Durad Bhayam no Buddhi Mohanam
Pashyat Patanaro Vyagra
Pashyot Patanaravyagra
Divyan Bhauman Sadaihikan
Divyad Bhauman Sadaihikan
Darunan Samsato Duran
Daran Sankshito Durad
Bhayam no Buddhi Mohanam
Bhayam no Buddhi Mohanam Pashyot Patanaravyagra Divyan Bhauman Sadaihikan Darunan Sanksato Durad Bhayam Pashyat Patanaravyagra Pashya, just see, utpatan, disturbances, nara vyagra, oh man of tiger-like strength, divyan, happenings in the sky, or by planetary influence, Bhauman, happenings on the earth, Sadaihikan, happenings of the body and the mind, Darunan, awfully dangerous, Samsataha, indicating Adurat, in the near future, Bhayam, danger, Na, our, Buddhi, intelligence, Mohanam, deluding. Translation, just see, oh man with a tiger's strength, that's Bhima. How many miseries due to the celestial influences, earthly reactions, and bodily pains, all very dangerous in themselves, are foreboding danger in the near future by deluding our intelligence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Material advancement of civilization means advancement of the reactions of the threefold miseries due to celestial influence of the stars, due to celestial influence, earthly reactions, and bodily or mental pains. Threefold miseries. By the celestial influence of the stars, there are many calamities, like excessive heat, cold rains, or no rains. And the after effects are famine, disease, and epidemic. The aggregate result is agony of the body and the mind. Man-made material science cannot do anything to counteract these threefold miseries. They are all punishments from the superior energy of Maya under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, our constant touch with the Lord by devotional service can give us relief without our being disturbed in the discharge of our human duties. The asuras, however, who do not believe in the existence of God, make their own plans to counteract all these threefold miseries, and so they meet with failures every time. The Bhagavad Gita 7.14 clearly states that the reaction of the material energy is never to be conquered because of the binding effects of the three modes. They can simply be overcome by one who surrenders fully in devotion under the lotus feet of the Lord. So it's never going to get hot in Texas, right? And it's never going to rain, and it's never going to be too much rain, and never not enough rain, and never, right? Never. Any questions? So, several things. In this world, in Texas, and in this world in general, there's a mix. There's suras and asuras, the divine and demoniac. Quite a mix. And that the proportion is very strongly in favor of the asuras, percentage-wise. And therefore, the threefold miseries. And then there's the suras, and there's the threefold miseries. So how is it that if you become a devotee, there's no threefold miseries? The answer is there are threefold miseries, but they don't impact the devotee in the same way that they impact the non-devotee, because the non-devotee's happiness and distress is dependent upon which way the wind is blowing. What's the configuration of duality today, or at this moment? And that equals happiness or distress. But wait a moment, and then the configuration changes, and so there's nothing stable. Everything is unstable. For the materialist, abundant threefold miseries. Why threefold miseries? Because of disposition averse to the personality of God. The material disposition brings the threefold miseries. Now, supposing we're nice devotees, we're trying to be at least nice devotees, and yes, we are in the company of non-devotees, left, right, and sideways. Threefold miseries come even if it's the asanga of great devotees. So, like Maharaj Yudhisthira, it's not like there's not seasonal changes for the Pandavas. It's always the same. No such thing. But how that impacts, so the ability to transcend the misery has everything to do with consciousness, or what is one's consciousness fixed upon. So when one's consciousness is fixed upon that which is beyond the temporary, then the temporary doesn't impact the consciousness. One can perceive it, one can feel the heat or the cold or the rain or the this or the that, and it is what it is. And so the minimal, chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita, is that the devotee following Krishna's instruction is recommended to tolerate the threefold miseries. Tolerate in the sense that it's not permanent. And if I'm able to fix, to the degree that I'm able to fix my consciousness on the permanent, then the impact becomes inconsequential, or diminishes at least. So one can perceive duality, one can perceive the threefold miseries, but one can transcend the misery of the threefold miseries by connecting with bhakti, or connecting with the supreme objective of life. And therefore it mitigated or diminished or becomes inconsequential. Are there examples of this? There's many examples. One fantastic example, Maharaj Ambarish. And here comes the fiery demon, because Durvasa Muni was envious. Because Maharaj Ambarish is getting more honor than me, and I'm a Brahmana and he's a Kshatriya. He's honored more than me? That's not right. So he's going to die. But, so the fiery demon is coming at Maharaj Ambarish, but he wasn't affected. Not only he wasn't affected, he was protected. And other examples and other examples. Prahlad Maharaj and other examples and other examples. So a great personality is not affected. I'm going to ask a quiz question for those of you that like quiz questions. If you don't like quiz questions, I'll ask you anyways. One devotee in Michigan sent me a question. And the question, if my memory serves me right, it's from Bhagavad Gita 2.36. And in Bhagavad Gita 2.36, there's a comparison, or at least it appears to be a comparison, between Haridas Thakur and Lord Shiva. And whereas when Parvati agitated Lord Shiva for sex, he obliged and Kartikeya was born. However, in contrast, when Haridas Thakur was approached by Maya herself, he wasn't agitated. So the quiz question is, wait a minute, this seems to be saying that Haridas Thakur is better than the best of all Vaishnavas. The best of all Vaishnavas is Lord Shiva. Vaishnavanam Yatashambhu, and he became agitated. So, but Haridas Thakur didn't become agitated. So that means Haridas Thakur is the best of all Vaishnavas, not Lord Shiva. That was a Bhagavad Gita question. Is the question clear? Sarva, is the question clear? Who would like to supply the answer? It's not like there's the right answer and there's no other right answer besides the one.
Well, what comes to mind initially is the journey of Narada Muni in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and even in the course of his seeking out the devotee who had received the most mercy of the Lord, he did approach Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva similarly sent him to devotees that he sees as greater than himself. But towards the end of that journey, Krishna revealed that all of his devotees, even from the most simple brahmana who's offering everything to him, to the most exalted position of the gopis, they've all received his mercy. And so although there's seemingly distinctions, but at the same time they've all completely received the mercy of the Lord.
Can you make it simpler? Real simple. Real simple.
He's simultaneously the greatest devotee, but there's multiple greatest devotees. Giriraj is also the greatest devotee. So
there's what?
Giriraj is also the greatest devotee of the Lord, according to Srimati Radharani in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
So it seems that there's multiple greatest devotees.
Oh, that's the path you're taking. There's multiple greatest devotees. But just take the greatest devotee, Lord Shiva, and Haridas Thakur, aside from, there's multiple greatest devotees. You understand the question? So besides the multiple greatest devotees, what is Prabhupada, is Prabhupada speaking or writing something demeaning about Lord Shiva? And that Haridas Thakur supersedes, aside from their multiple greatest? Yes. Oh, he's his senior. You give to him.
Nobody was trying to be second. Said I was trying to be last, but nobody was trying to be second either. Haridas Thakur was protected by the holy name. His implicit faith and complete faith in the holy name protected him from any delusion or illusion within the material world. So whatever devotee he was or was not, he was still protected.
And?
Isn't that enough?
What about Lord Shiva?
Lord Shiva...
He likes the holy name, doesn't he?
Also chants constantly the holy names. You always see him with Japamala.
So he's protected too.
So he is also protected.
But?
He's married to Maya Devi. There are different responsibilities here. Trust me, I know.
Anyone else?
Well, I don't have an answer, but I do have something that I was contemplating that I wonder if it factors into the question, to the answer. The fact that Lord Shiva is a different tattva than Haridas Thakur, is that part of it?
Maharaj. Grab that microphone, Maharaj. No, the answer, the response to your suggestion is it's a non sequitur. This doesn't have anything to do with that.
I have a problem.
You got the microphone.
I'm listening to the class. But it's 3 minutes behind reality. The class is now 3 minutes behind.
You got to speak into the microphone, otherwise we can't follow.
Hello.
Yeah, that's good.
The class I was listening to is 3 minutes behind reality. The class I was listening to was 3 minutes behind this reality, so I'm catching up.
Okay, now you're in the temple room.
I agree with him.
Which is?
That they're in a different position. At least as far as I know, the pastime of Lord Shiva being agitated by Parvati.
Yeah.
He had to produce a child to defeat the devils, right?
Because he's a grahasta.
No, but there was nobody who could
Say it slower.
save the devil, save the devotees, the demi. There's nobody who could save the demigods, right?
Yeah.
So Parvati had to agitate him to get a child to do service to the the devas, you know. And so I would say it's being, especially that case is being influenced by internal potency. That Lord Shiva.
She had a good motive.
Huh?
You're saying essentially she had a good motive. She was protecting her husband.
Oh no, she was protecting the demigods.
She was protecting the demigods.
Yeah, and so then Shiva was the only person who could have a son. Kind of like the approach Dadichi. But the problem is, when I talk through this, there's an echo, go, coming. Yeah. So, I will talk more slowly.
Thank you.
Internal potency.
Thank you.
That pastime, I would say then, was influenced by internal potency.
Well done. I'm looking at Radha Krishna. Do you want to contribute to this?
I was thinking from the beginning, it's two different leelas actually.
Yes.
Yes, so the emphasis different, and Maharaj actually highlighted that the demigods were in a dire circumstance where they needed a champion, and Parvati was the one who could get that champion from Lord Shiva. So it's a pastime incident where he had to succumb to Parvati's dealings with him. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We got another contributor over here.
Oh, I'm just going over the section of Haridas Thakur's glories in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Speak slowly.
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, chapter 3, the glories of Haridas Thakur, when Haridas Thakur delivered Maya Devi herself, she calls him the topmost devotee, or the foremost devotee of the Lord, and even mentions that Shiva had previously initiated her into the Rama, the name of Lord Ram, but he's initiated into the name of Krishna, and she's finding much more pleasure.
Oh, that was tricky. Haridas has a better mantra. Come on. Come on. No. No. Well, is this being recorded? You're recording this, right? Someone's recording it. The universe of coordinators. So, could you do one, this particular section of the class, cut it, send it to me, and I'll forward to the devotee that asked me this question. Because I had a different answer. Huh? No, he's a scholarly person, and there's scholarly answers. No, he's got an audience, and the audience may put their arms across their chest and say, harumph. My reply to this devotee was, I don't see a contradiction. Because his audience was seeing there's a contradiction. No, Lord Shiva is the best, but Haridas Thakur is better than the best. Or he resisted the temptation, whereas Lord Shiva didn't. And my answer was, it's a difference of ashram. Haridas Thakur is a celibate, and he doesn't yield to temptation. And Lord Shiva is a grahastha, and his wife wants a son. And, and that's completely in accord with Dharma. And so there's not comparison. This one's better than that one. I guess that's the end of that discussion. You want to add?
I thought that was a good answer.
Huh?
Yeah. I thought that was a good answer also. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I couldn't capture all the innuendos of some of the other comments. It was a little over my head or something.
One time, Sridhar Maharaj.
Could you speak right
One
into the
time,
microphone?
Sridhar Maharaj, Prabhupada's god brother, he mentions that amongst their use of English language back in 1905 or something, they say, oh, Ramapad Swami, he's the best, right?
Well, this is his argument. There's different, they're best.
Yeah, so that sometimes the word yeah. Sometimes we use the superlative in that sense of being that way, and he says Prabhupada using it that way. He's the best.
He's the best.
Yeah, it's the use of
Govardhan's the best.
He gives an exact phrase for it. Somehow, use of the superlative in that sense. Yeah.
Chaitanya Das.
Example is given about Sukadeva Goswami and his father Vyasadeva. When Sukadeva Goswami was going and Vyasadeva was going behind him,
Yes.
and the girls didn't see any difference with the Sukadeva Goswami, just like what you are saying. That
Yeah,
it's a
ashram.
different ashram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just in one other sense of the personalities in the scriptures, Haridas Thakur and the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Shiva intertwines himself within many, many Bhagavatam stories.
Yes.
The Devatas are on a completely different level of existence, and they have a completely different level of standards of what is acceptable and not acceptable also.
Yes.
We're not them, they aren't us.
But he's not just a demigod. He's
Agreed. I mean, he's Shiva Tattva. You have to get his permission to leave this world.
He is a direct expansion of the personality of Godhead. It's not a jiva. He's in his own tattva. Best.
Agreed.
Okay, so back to the verse for this morning. Sorry for the detour. The verse for this morning is, the Yudhisthira is speaking to Bhima. Bhima is this powerful person, and Yudhisthira is the most intelligent and learned, and he's ending the verse saying his intelligence is becoming bewildered. How is his intelligence becoming bewildered? Well, how is intelligence not bewildered when the Lord fixes it? So in his case, the Lord was not fixing it for a purpose. That he could then, Yudhisthira, could experience the pernicious effects of what happens after Krishna departs. So, we're also subject to all of that. And then, is there an alternative in this age of Kali or after Krishna's departure? Is there an alternative? The alternative is full shelter in the personality of Godhead. Now, is Yudhisthira not taking full shelter in the personality of Godhead, and therefore, because he's bewildered and his intelligence is disturbed and so forth, diluting our intelligence in the near future by diluting our intelligence? So he is speaking as if he's one of us, and there's a purpose behind his speaking as if he's one of us when he's not one of us. And that's for the sake of the Leela of Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna's departure and Arjuna coming back and the whole rest of the chapter. So this is a nice chapter. It's instructive. The Bhagavatam itself is instructive on many levels, and one can take this, that, or the other level and zero in on it and expand it and then go back to another level. And so there's no... The ocean is profoundly deep. So there are many, many, many messages within the Bhagavatam, within this chapter, within even this verse. So Yudhisthira is contemplating the threefold miseries of material existence, and he, as the emperor, is now being subjected to the threefold miseries. And his intelligence is being diluted by those threefold miseries. But on the other hand, that's just Krishna's arrangement. So Krishna can arrange Yudhisthira becoming deluded, or Mars Prikshit to act in an unbecoming way, out of character way, by placing a dead snake on the neck of a sage that's in trance, and it's, and so forth and so on. To facilitate the narration of the pastime. There's many such examples like that. Many such examples where it is foretold that, it's just like when Arjuna was born, the astrologer forecast what it's going to be like for Arjuna. And one of the things that was forecast is that he would get all these celestial weapons. And sure enough, it happened. Because it was foretold that it would happen, and it happened the way that it happened, as part of the Mahabharata portion. And by the way, during the Thanksgiving weekend, Krishna permits, I'll be narrating some of those nice descriptions about the Pandavas, because one of the things the Pandavas did is they went to the Himalayas. So we're going to be speaking about the Himalayas, or Rishikesh, Haridwar, and Badrinath, and they had some activities there. So we'll be hearing about them. And one of the things that happened was Arjuna getting these celestial weapons. As was foretold by the astrologer. Back to the verse, there are portents of the future that can be predicted by people that have the skill to understand celestial influences, make things happen or not happen, all under the direction of the personality of Godhead. So that's, then I'm going to end with this, that there's this verse that's referred to in the purport from Bhagavad Gita, that no arrangement can change the plan of the Lord. 7:14. The Bhagavad Gita clearly states that the reaction of the material energy is never to be conquered because of the binding effects of the three modes. Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mama eva ye prapadyante. Same maya metam. So one can cross beyond the three modes of material nature by surrender to Krishna. So when one takes shelter of Krishna and goes beyond the three modes of material nature, it's not like, as Yudhisthira is describing, he's not being impacted by the threefold miseries. He's seeing them, and whether or not he's experiencing that has everything to do with consciousness or the full shelter. So The Bhaktivedanta purports help us understand things from different angles because the Bhagavatam discloses things like that. Discussion. Yes? He's got the microphone. Oh, you've got the microphone.
Shiva try to resist in that pastime?
Say it again.
Did Shiva try to resist in that pastime? I'm
Did
sorry.
Shiva try to do what?
Resist in the pastime to not.
Which pastime?
You mentioned about 2.36 in the Bhagavad Gita.
I don't understand your question.
Like Maya.
Oh, that one.
Yes, yes. Did Shiva?
It says his wife wants a son, so he's yielding to his wife wanting a son. No problem.
Yes.
Yeah. You actually have a question. See, you did too.
So 2 places that I know of in Srila Prabhupada's books, he defines, or it is defined, that Yoga Maya is defined as making the impossible possible. Prabhupada does it in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Gopi Pranadhana Prabhu and the team that did the 11th or 12th canto also quotes that's the definition of Yoga Maya, making the impossible possible.
There's
so
many definitions.
in this, I know there is, but this stuck out to me for whatever reason. So Yudhishthira is now simply noticing the effect of Krishna having left the planet.
Yes.
So isn't it possible he withdrew some of his Yoga Maya potency in that?
Yeah.
So everything changes for everybody when he leaves. And Yudhishthira is just confirming this is what's going on.
Yes. So that's one lens, and then there's another lens, at least another one. and that is the auspiciousness, because the prior verses indicated the auspiciousness, the good fortune, the prosperity, etc., because of Krishna's presence. And that's on the material side. I mean, specifically in the purport, it's on the material side. Krishna's presence made material prosperity. And then Krishna's absence made the absence of material prosperity, or the presence of the threefold miseries. So that's another lens. Another angle of vision. Anything else? Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.